Hello, Prime Community and beyond. Thank you so much for being here today, especially now that it's your lunch hour. We're almost done, one more person after me. So thank you for sticking around. My name is Emily Garber, and I am a UX practitioner in the Exeter cohort. I'm so excited to be sharing my findings with you on learning about and improving the Minnesota Tool Library's online user experience. The idea for this project originated from an experience I had. Specifically, this year, I plan on tilling some soil and building a few raised beds in my backyard. So I'm researching what tools I'll need. But I've owned my house for about 3 years now and have learned the hard way how expensive it can be for homeowners to maintain their properties and constantly buy new tools. In fact, in Minneapolis, it costs about $1,200 a year on average for tools, materials, and labor in home upkeep, while the average privately owned tool only gets used for 12 minutes. I don't want to spend a bunch of money at a big box store. I want a sustainable alternative. So when I came across the Minnesota Tool Library's Facebook page, I was so excited. It seems like a robust community and a great way to save some money, so I was ready to sign up. But I found the website to be confusing, and I had a hard time finding the information I wanted, like membership costs and benefits. From research, I discovered I was not the only one who felt this way. Every person I spoke to during usability evaluations said the mission and work of the Minnesota Tool Library resonated deeply with them, but 5 out of 5 users were overwhelmed and confused. And this was the barrier to membership. Users felt stressed out and intimidated instead of welcomed. That they might consider membership, but it would be taking a chance instead of making a confident decision. During those same usability tests, I also measured the efficacy of the language the existing site uses, performing a remote card sorting activity. So this is pretty cool. This is what the results of the card sorting activity look like. Each square is an intersection of 2 words. The darker the blue, the more often participants put those 2 words in the same group. And this is another view of the data. This time it's measuring how often participants put words into the same named category as another participant. So there's not much dark blue on this chart, right? This shows me that what words users got especially tripped up on, such as appointment, check-in, and basic versus standard membership. I was lucky to work directly with the tool library on parts of this project and spoke with Kate, the executive director, to see if the project and organizational goals could align. She told me that membership was the biggest indicator of success for the organization. So I decided to approach the problem from the experience of the new user, specifically the first impression. I then set on a journey of taking apart the overwhelming and expansive contents of the site and recategorizing it into intuitive, usable groups. This new architecture uses effective language and presents the user with a familiar, welcoming, and intuitive first impression. The new user doesn't feel overwhelmed or intimidated because it's how the user expects it to work. Paired with warm, welcoming imagery, the most important information is never more than a couple clicks away. The user spends less energy navigating through the site, and they don't have to second guess or hunt for information. The blocks to participation are demolished. Kate also mentioned when we spoke that they had struggled with showcasing the community involvement and impact of the organization. After all, their product is your living room. With this in mind, I built in space in the new architecture for classes, projects, and organizational news to live. This showcases the welcoming, inviting community of the tool library and effortlessly communicates that warmth to new members. The toughest problem I faced during this project was the tool library's reliance on third-party sites such as MyTurn and SignUp for tool lending, member accounts, and reservation scheduling. Specifically, there's a check availability button that leads users to a blank calendar. While the calendar means that there are no upcoming reservations for the tool, multiple users during usability testing were so tripped up by this function, assuming it meant the tool was not available or that the site was broken, that they used that confusion as reason for why they were less likely to become a member. So I can't implement new software or change how these tools work, and I was limited to plain text and hyperlinks, so I had to get creative and focus on language and visibility, as well as recommending that these sites open in new tabs. This way, the user feels slightly more oriented in the space, less whipped around, and more comfortable moving forward. My next steps are to break down my recommendations into a prioritized timeline for the organization to help them implement my proposed changes. This will include mobile capability and improvements to the organization's accessibility, specifically how to transition away from a marketing strategy where the only text is embedded in an image, which screen readers cannot pick up. I want to thank you to my cohort, my wonderful instructors, my mentors, the Minnesota Tool Library for the chance to work with them on this project, my husband Doug, and my son Misha. Please visit my website or connect with me on LinkedIn with any questions you have. Thanks again. And I'd like to introduce the next presenter, the master of the quick question, Luke.
Wow, thank you so much, Emily. That's fantastic. I wanna run some tools now.